should also sit down when they pee to stop the bathroom becoming a mess.
Disagree. So listen, and this is a bad one. I think, especially after leg day, right? Because I had an experience with this, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had to pee, and nobody was in there but me. So I sat down. Ain't nothing really wrong with that, but I think you have to, sometime I agree with standing up in the hole in your slonker. Because it's more manly. I think it is more manly. And more manly. It's more manly, but, I just think that, there's gray area. There's gray area in this.
You know what, Will? This is probably the only time I'll agree with you. Because your whole life is a gray area. I can't tell if you're the victim or the villain. Or maybe you're both.
I'm gonna put myself out there. You ain't got the period. And on top of it, I want Will out. I don't want him part of this. Okay, I'm the bad guy.
It's official, y'all. Jada Pinkett Smith is the man of the house.
I see that TS Air Force Ones. Okay.
That part right there.
Okay.
That part right there. So all day.
In 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Globally, 5 minutes.
Fly.
5 minutes top. Sold out globally.
Perfect with the outfit too. Nah, you
Hell
knew
yeah. I knew what was up.
You
I
knew
knew what
what
was up.
time it was.
Because either way we slice it, you're either gonna sympathize for Will Smith and feel like he got wronged in the situation, or you're gonna hate Jada's guts altogether. But I'd rather do something different. Not only are we gonna dissect their marriage, but I'm gonna show you why Jada is actually the head of the household and why she's the puppeteer behind the scenes, pulling the strings and controlling Will Smith's legacy.
Look at this.
Now, am I gonna make fun of Will Smith? Potentially.
And even though I'm an action star, sometimes I'm an act bizarre.
Because as a black man in America, it's just some shit I can't let slide.
I'm sorry, brother, but you are in the book of Negroes. What do you mean? Sorry, brother.
But before we get into that, there's a recurring theme that's gonna come up between these two, and that's happiness. So pay attention, because we're gonna circle back to that later. Now, without further ado, y'all get ready, sit back, relax. I know y'all like to eat. I like to eat when I watch YouTube. So we're gonna get into this now. Brace yourselves. Let's go back in time to July 10th, 2020, because this will be the date that Jada Pinkett announces her entanglement.
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes. I was in a lot of pain, and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It had been so long
Mm-hmm.
since I felt good.
So let me get this straight, y'all. This lady bought a red table, set up some cameras, and told the world that she was getting clapped by somebody that was young enough to be her son.
Jada Pinkett Smith, that's f***ed up.
Exhibit A, August Alsina, an R&B artist from New Orleans who talks about the time when he met Jada back in 2015 and how their entanglement was actually intentional.
I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation due to the transformation from their marriage to life partnership that they've spoken on several times, and it, not involving romanticism.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really, really deeply loved and have a ton of love for her.
So look, y'all, I remember at this time, Jada caught a lot of flack for this. But when I really dived into it, I started looking at Will sideways, man. I can't lie. Because Will allowed this to take place in his own house. And what makes this worse is that when Jada met August, he was dealing with a lot.
Nah, I actually never even made it to college, man. I dropped out of high school. I just finished. I just got my diploma a few weeks ago. Cause I quit my senior year, man. Like it was just so much going on, and I got into some other stuff, and you know, it just
Problems?
think that a young man, who really out here living, what you go through, and I ended up homeless because I mean just choices.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like at some point, I was always trying to teach myself how to be a man.
See, August claimed that Jada and Will brought him in to support him emotionally. Yeah, right. But Jada has a totally different take on how things actually went.
You know, everything came out and I was like, oh, I got to take myself to the table. Now, mind you, Will and I were not together. We hadn't been together. 2016. And I decided I'm going to take myself to the table. Will says, I want to come to the table with you. I was really surprised and I was like, wow. He's like, I don't want you to be at the table by yourself. I want to support you. We come to the table and Will's not ready. And he's kind of backtracking. And he's going through this motion. And I'm like,
Here we go again.
So I'm like, well, I'm going to have to speak my truth. But I'm also going to protect you. So if I got to look like the adulterous wife to make sure you're good, I'm going to do it. And that wasn't the case. But I wanted him to be okay.
Now, mind y'all, smart businesswoman. They own their content. She could have killed it.
Yeah.
She could have said, oh, heck no, this didn't work as planned.
Yeah.
But you did it anyway.
Now notice how manipulative she is, y'all. She just tried to hit us with the okie doke.
Oh, dead the serious.
serious.
Nah, hold up though, bro. Hold up though. Dead the fuck.
She just tried to gaslight us into thinking that she was trying to protect Will this whole time. But like that woman beside her said, she didn't have to drop this video, but she did it anyway.
But I feel like some of us should be slaves again.
Now, let's go to the main stage on March 27th, 2022.
Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? that was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
That shit is so sad, man. Like, oh my God. This was the slap that was heard from across the world. And not only was this used for comedic jokes and podcast conversations.
You don't understand. Do you understand why he slapped Chris? Did you see in that moment from probably what he was dealing with?
What was he dealing with? What the f was he dealing with?
Something made him slap his
No,
brother, man.
something didn't make him snap anything. He laughed at that bad joke that Chris said like everybody else. And then Jada looked at him and it was like the Manchurian Candidate.
Not the Manchurian.
But this would become a point of contention between people that believe Will was protecting his wife and the people that thought that Will overreacted.
Oscar night. That was a horrific night, man.
To you?
For me, yeah. I made
all the real ones,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand up for my wife, whether I'm right or wrong in any place.
Mm-hmm.
So I understood that. I don't care what you say. Nobody can make me think that anything you did was wrong.
Let me tell you one of the worst, because I was right there. And I get home, and my nephew, 9 years old, his name's And I'm sitting, we got these bean bags in the kitchen. I'm sitting in the kitchen, he's sitting between my legs, and he's holding the Oscar. And he goes, "Why you hit that man, Uncle Will?" And I was like, "Oh!"
See, the internet was divided at this point. One side was backing Will for everything that he did, while the other side hated the entire situation. But guess what side Jada was on?
In the book, you say protection is your love language.
Mm-hmm.
He protected you, didn't he? Did you see that as an act of love?
It's a really complex moment. I would say yes and no in a certain manner, you know? But I definitely think in his way. But it was so much more. It wasn't about me. That's why it's complex, right? It's like it was about a lot more than just that moment.
See, while half of the world was supporting Will, cheering him on, giving him words of encouragement, Jada was somewhere confused and, dare I say, disgusted by what he did.
There was no accountability. Will Smith was defending her honor.
Now, we do have a problem in our community, but I'll save that for another time. Just know that words should never trigger violence.
I want to fight. I want to fight. I want to fight. Who want to fight? I want to fight.
Especially when you're on the biggest stage of your career, I believe there's a time and place for everything.
I don't know what happened to Will. It looked like he was enjoying the joke. Right? When he cracked the joke, Will was laughing, that phony ass laugh.
But now let's get into why Will actually smacked Chris Rock. Because it didn't really have anything to do with those G.I. Jane jokes. Yeah, those were corny. But they were more of like the cherry on top, the icing on the cake. See, this beef had been brewing for a long time, and this was just a tipping point.
We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time. I'm like, what is going on right
keep
now?
my wife's
name out of your mouth,
yes,
right? And I'm
yes.
like, and Chris looks to me and he says, "Jada, I meant no harm." Now, I'm just out of it because I'm really worried about
And
Will.
what's Will doing? He's just sitting there?
And Will's still talking. He's like, because now he's mad because Chris is talking to me. And I go, "Chris, this is about some old shit." That's all I could think to say, right? And I couldn't really take in his apology.
Now, what I'm about to say is pure speculation. I don't have any evidence of this, but I believe that Will was enraged at this point because when you think about it, before this moment, everybody hated Will. Everybody has something to say because Will was America's simp.
I used to look up to you, man. How could you do this? How could you do this, bro?
And the one man that been trying to get at his wife for years would now be standing 50 feet in front of him. See, Chris Rock was more than just a comedian on that day. He was a psychological trigger point. And in Will Smith's mind, he would represent millions of people that have been throwing his name in the dirt. But it just so happened that Chris Rock secretly wanted his wife all along.
Did ask you out?
Oh, yeah, that was after the many different, I think every summer, all the reports would come out that me and Will were getting a divorce. And Chris he thought that we were getting a divorce. So he called me and he was like, "Hey," basically he was like, "I'd love to take you out." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Well, aren't you and Will getting a divorce?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Chris, those are just rumors." He's like, "Oh my," he was appalled, you know what I mean? And he profusely apologized. And that was that.
Now, could it be that Will Smith just honestly hated Chris Rock? Yeah, it's possible. Or was Will trying to make a stand and show the world that he wasn't actually soft?
There is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults. After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, I made a choice on my own from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it.
See, if you ask me, The real victim in all this is Chris Rock because he got the dog shit slapped out of him. I need y'all to think about this for a second. In terms of my generation, Chris Rock is gonna be remembered as the comedian that got smacked by Will Smith. No one's gonna think about all those stand-ups he did. No one's gonna go back and watch the movies. We're just gonna remember him for getting smacked. Imagine explaining this to your friends, your family, and worst of all, your children on why you chose not to defend yourself on national television.
Knows. Yes, it happened. I got smacked like a year ago. Fucking last week, I got smacked in the Oscars by this motherfucker. And people like, did it hurt? It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ears. But I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah or Gail crying. You will never see it. Never gonna happen. I couldn't believe it, and I love Men in Black. No. Will Smith practices selective outrage. Because everybody knows what the happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that shit. I didn't have any entanglements.
Now, as relationships go, there's always gonna be ups and downs. There might even be some moments where you just want to separate from your partner. That's real. And that's why happiness should never be at the foundation of any relationship, because happiness is a fleeting emotion. Some days it's there, some days it's gone. And a relationship is truly tested when the happiness is no longer there.
Me and Jada was reflecting about love. And I asked her, I said, what did she think was, one of the biggest revelations she had about love? She said that you cannot make a person happy. You can make a person smile, you can make a person feel good, you can make a person laugh, but whether or not a person is happy is deeply and totally and utterly out of your control. I remember the day I retired. I literally said to Jada, that's it. I retire from trying to make you happy. I need you to go make yourself happy and just prove to me that it's even possible.
Now, I can't lie, y'all. This is probably the realest shit he ever said. But never in a million years would I imagine my wife getting on the internet and talking about how we don't live in the same house or how we don't even sleep in the same bed.
What does that beauty look like for you day in and day out? So are y'all living together?
It's just, not right now.
But you will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why do you say that with such a
clarity?
Because that's what it's going to be.
That's where it's headed.
Yeah.
And you both are on that page.
Yeah. And but right now, I really do enjoy my space.
Yeah.
I've been living
alone.
I am my mother's only child.
Yeah.
Right? And so having this time that I've had to myself has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Just to get to know me, even to have my house exactly how I want it.
Yeah.
I don't have to be like, well, what color do you want this wall? You know what I mean? I can just do it.
You're the chooser.
I'm the chooser.
You're the chooser.
Right.
Now, at the time of this recording, Jada is 54 years old. But in that clip, she's talking as if she's 25. She's still trying to get to know herself and spend time alone. What? Now, everybody that's watching this, I don't know any woman that don't want to spend time with her man.
My man, where's my man?
Look, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, Jada Pinkett is the man of the house.
That's the same way I feel. That's what I've been trying to tell everybody.
She's a nigga in a woman's body. Can't you see that? And their relationship lasted so long because they complement each other. She's the dominant one, and there goes Will. Good old Will.
Sometimes I'ma act bizarre.
See, Will cooks and clean, while Jada tells him the food wasn't good enough.
No, my bad, I'm sorry.
And this is the sad part about all of this. See, when a man's masculinity is in question, that's when those allegations start coming out. And you know the allegations I'm talking about.
Will Smith is gay. I lived in Hollywood for a decade. My boss was his agent at CAA for 8 years and would help him shuffle men in and out of their mansions. Him and Jada Pinkett Smith don't even live, they haven't even ever lived in the same bedroom. She is his, what's it called, lavender wife or whatever, to seem normal so they can seem like the all-American family. But in reality, Will Smith is gay and always has been. I hate Hollywood and I don't even like celebrities. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. But I'm just so sick of seeing this story of like, oh, she's this big cheater even though she's absolutely insufferable. That's just so you guys will talk about them. That's why their whole family is weird and it doesn't know what gender they are.
Fine is like, this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and have with Will. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder, like murder. There was murder in there.
When you got a woman that don't really like you, you got.
Hold on. Time out. You're not the first man to said this.
I think she liked the lifestyle. Now, who's she gonna marry with that much money? Oprah. Hey, Oprah ain't gonna have her. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, and then she's mean. See, a real woman would have said, "Hey, don't get up and do that.
Don't you mess this money up?
No, don't get up and do that. Yeah. Talk to him after the show."
Right.
She wanted him to go up there and do that. And then he yells out, "Keep my wife's name." You should have been talking to your wife when she be messing with the young boy.
Now, I'm curious to see what you guys think about this one. Let me know in the comments section. But if you made it this far, that means you enjoyed this video. You know what you gotta do, man.
Now don't be a Negro, be my nigga. All right, help me out.
Leave your boy a like and go ahead and subscribe. Other than that, I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.